let's go on to the big game in the Sooner State and the biggest game of the year this side of Texas for me. Number 22, Oklahoma hangs on to beat number 9, Oklahoma, 27-24 in Stillwater at a thing that Dave Pasch kept calling Final Bedlam. I mean, I kept wanting to see Final Countdown, something like that, because, saying Final Bedlam means like they're never going to play this game again. Hell, they're not going to play it anytime in the future, but I would expect them to play it again because, well, Oklahoma State's got a real good all of a sudden about this series, having got this win to kick Oklahoma on the behind on the way out the door to the SEC. And really, this game started about as well as it could have for Oklahoma, right? And then Oklahoma State took those shots and came back. I was impressed with a number of players in this game, but none more than Ollie Gordon, who had over 33 rush, had 33 rush attempts for 137 yards, 2 TDs. That's a really great day for most tailbacks, but for his standards, that's not even hitting his average the last 5 games. Came into this game averaging 195.8 yards per game against Big 12 opponents, and that dude went for 137 and 2 TDs. I found it really frustrating that Oklahoma had created 5 turnovers of Kansas and Oklahoma State in the last 6 quarters, still couldn't do much with that offensively, and that was the game, right? That was the game for me. Drake Stoops had a career day, 12 catches, 134 yards, and a TD, but he has to get to the sticks on 4th and got to have it. However, he didn't call a sprint rollout that was short of the sticks either. He don't call plays, all right? I'm going to also throw in here, there were 3 receivers at Oklahoma that had over 90 yards receiving. Dillon Gabriel went 26 of 37 for 344 and a TD and a pick. But none of those 4 men call plays. That is a man named Jeff Levy, who in crunch time could not come up with something that would go get points for Oklahoma in those gotta-have-it situations, and that is frustrating because that goes back to Texas. Dillon Gabriel made the Texas win happen by outrunning everybody and expecting to get tackled, all right? That dude ain't supposed to be rushing for 100 yards on nobody, but he made it happen against Texas. They asked him to do this again against Kansas. He couldn't get it done. They asked him to do this again against Oklahoma State. He couldn't get it done, and I don't think that's really his fault. I think at one point or another, you got to stop getting cute, and you got to draw up stuff that works. Give Tawee Walker the ball. That dude had one offer out of high school to Jackson State, coming out of North Vegas, went the JUCO route, showed up at Oklahoma last year, had 62 total rush yards. In this game, his first carry went 23 yards to the house. Feed that man the rock. Put the ball back in Gavin Sawchuk's stomach. He's proven he'll hold on to it this game. All right? Make the game simple for your offense to go get points. What you can't have happen is scoring 3 points in a game that was decided by 3 points in the 4th quarter. You have to take a look at, A, your play calling, if not your play caller. You also have to take a look at your field goal kicker, your place kicker, who's 2 of 6 kicking field goals going back to Iowa State, and that's September 30th, okay? If he makes a field goal, maybe it's a tie game. Maybe you get an opportunity to win this. That's 2 places you can take a look here. And then you got Brent Venables getting called for the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty as he's arguing to call at the numbers. If you're going to call it by the letter of the law, fine. I'll let that go. I'm not even going to get upset about that. The one that's going to catch us all, the one thing that was out of Oklahoma's control and frankly out of Oklahoma State's control is the pass interference on one of the favorite sons in the state of Oklahoma that will be talked about forever and ever. Because you're watching this play, and in the replay, it feels like my man is draped all over Drake Stoops, who, by the way, made the catch at the end, just didn't make it in bounds. If you get that 15-yard penalty and you get that first down, does Oklahoma go and score and go ahead, making Oklahoma State have to do what Oklahoma was attempting to do at the end of the game? We'll never know. All we will know is that Oklahoma fans, probably wrongly, but will feel right in their soul, going to put on a tinfoil hat and say the Big 12 engineered this win for Oklahoma State. I don't think that's true, and I don't think that this play is the reason that Oklahoma lost Bedlam on Saturday. However, it's really difficult to look at that play and know there was an official that had a really great advantage of it and didn't throw the flag. That man is going to stay up with that call for a long time is what we would hope. But, it's probably going to go home and have a Diet Coke and get out his Big Chief notebook and color with a crayon while watching other Big 12 teams. But, that might be just Mike Gundy. Because that dude also can just find these playmakers that come out of nowhere. Like, we know Alan Bowman. I've known Alan Bowman, I should say, going back to Texas Tech, when he threw for over 600 yards against Oklahoma State. Went up to Michigan, played backup, won a Big Ten title, got to the college football playoff, transferred back to Oklahoma State, put up 344 passing on Oklahoma in Bedlam in a win. No TDs, but also no picks there. I mentioned what Ollie Gordon was doing, but the guy that really took over the game when we expected Gordon to do it was Rashad Owens, who had 10 catches for 136, 6'2", 230. You look at that man, you see tight end. Well, that's what he was playing before they moved him out to the numbers. It said, hey, small corner, do something with this. And small corners are like, nah, dog, there's nothing I can do with that. That man is just going to get at me. But in gotta have it situations, it wasn't just Rashad Owens. It was also Tulsa's own Brennan Presley, 8 catches, 97 receiving yards, holding on to the ball as Jared Kanick was trying to rip it out of his palms. Man, I couldn't wait to tell him how excited I am for him, how proud I am of him putting on for the 918, staying near, going to Stillwater, going to get this big win for Oklahoma State over Oklahoma. All right. For Oklahoma State's purposes, they have a path to the Big 12 title. Full stop. That's what they earned today with the win. They and Texas could be playing each other for the Big 12 championship, in which Oklahoma State would be playing for that New Year's Six bowl spot. Texas might be playing for a spot in the college football playoff, especially knowing that Texas and Texas and Oklahoma State each have a win against Kansas. Going to need some more things to go Kansas' way for them to get back in it, but they're still in it. I'm also looking at this, and I got to say, Oklahoma State, it's not just getting the Bedlam win today. It's also putting the nail in the coffin for Oklahoma's college football playoff chances. Wild stat that I'll give you. Oklahoma has not lost to Kansas and Oklahoma State in the same year since 1997. That year, Oklahoma went 4-8. Bob Stoops was a year away. We got children that have come and gone through both of those institutions who had never seen Oklahoma lose to Oklahoma State and Kansas in the same year, and then they do it in back-to-back weeks after getting off to a 7-0 start. 7-2, way better than 6-7 last year. Now, get it back up together. Maybe get Danny Stutzman back on the field, though Kip Lewis played really well. And you see what you can't make out of the rest of the season, and there's still a lot to play for, but I don't want to get that twisted. Again, Oklahoma State putting the nail in the coffin for Oklahoma's college football playoff chances, getting its 8th win in 118 attempts. I'm gonna leave that out there for a second. Mike Gundy, been at Oklahoma State since 2005, since I was a junior at high school. It's him, right? 19 years we're coming up on. This is win number 4 for Oklahoma State against Oklahoma since 2005. Pretty good, right? No wonder he went 0-4 as a quarterback at Oklahoma State, but, we're not going to talk about that, or maybe I will. So you know what? I guess Oklahoma winning 91 of 118 total games against Oklahoma State is just going to have to do for, air quotes, final Bedlam. My God. I'm happy for y'all, right? You got the win. Celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Getting my mentions on the tweets, in the Facebook, on the Instagram, tag me, do whatever you got to do. Just remember that it's 91 of 118. 91 of 118. All right? Sooner State. We run this. Go win a Big 12 title. Go ahead. Beat the team that we already beat and gave you a shot to go beat. But you know what? Never mind. Oklahoma State Aggies, have at it. Have your Diet Coke, even if your favorite flavor is whiskey. I got to tell the story on the way out because Mike Gundy is a content machine, just like Coach Prime. So he was asked, how does he do these things after games? He says, I go home, I got out a Big Chief notebook and a crayon, and I watch other Big 12 teams play while I have a Diet Coke. To which he was like, which Diet Coke do you like? There it is, Dave Wilson with it. Well, I love whiskey. For the uninitiated, Mike Gundy's also a really good businessman and has his hands in things that going around in the business, all above board, all that stuff. But I love that this man knows how to market to whom he's marketing to. And I think that the Big 12 is in really great hands as Oklahoma and Texas exit. You're going to have Mike Gundy on the days, followed by Coach Prime. Big 12 Media Days, I cannot wait for you to get here. I'm going to have such a good time because those two dudes are terribly entertaining. If you like what you've seen, consider subscribing to the #1 college football show on YouTube, the Fox Sports app, or wherever you get your podcast.